I love spring. The flowers are blooming and there are signs of life everywhere. I'm always so happy to hit the trails and see the earth emerging. Today we are talking about Beltane traditions and the many ways you can celebrate this year. Beltane celebrates love and sexuality. Plants are growing and wild animals are giving birth. Summer is here. This is a festival of fire, fertility, and vitality. The light half of the year starts now with abundant sunshine and warmer temperatures. Traditionally, Beltane is celebrated May 1st. However, astronomically, the midpoint between the spring equinox and the summer solstice falls between May 5th and May 7th, not May 1st. The fixed date of May 1st has the weight of tradition and communal observance. The astronomical date aligns with the actual solar midpoint. Choose what works for you in your practice. Beltane is also known as Mayday and Walpurgis. Both names come from the more Christianized ceremonies. May Day is a public holiday in many European countries and often traces its roots back to Floralia, the Roman festival that honored the goddess Flora. Flora represents fertility, renewal of life, and the flowering of spring. Her blessing is a gift to the earth, protecting the spring blooms and breathing life into the world. Walpurgis Night is a Christianized version of Beltane which celebrates Saint Walpurga, a German saint who was a healer and very anti-witchcraft. Her followers prayed to her to save them from the evil witches and, interestingly, rabies. Definitely not someone we want to follow. For me, Beltane is gardening and making that connection with Mother Earth. I'm up in Wisconsin, so for me, it's time to start planting vegetables and flowers outside. Hi, I'm Amy, and welcome to my channel. Celebrate Pagan Holidays is all about sharing ways we can celebrate our pagan history and ways to observe those practices today. If you are an urban dweller, you can tend houseplants and bring flowers inside. This is also a great time to appreciate that we live in a world where we can have access to and grow plants from all over. The bonfire is an important part of our celebration. During the Beltane bonfire, we celebrate the return of the sun and the light. Bonfires remind us that we need to shine our light during dark times. Traditionally, hearth fires throughout the community were extinguished and then relit from a central ceremonial fire, typically kindled by friction. This act of communal reignition connected every home to the sacred flame and to each other. Fire is protective, purifying, and life-affirming. You can dance around or leap over the fire to purify yourself, encourage fertility, and secure good fortune for the coming year. If you are celebrating indoors or someplace that a bonfire would not be safe, light candles. Red candles represent fire, passion, strength, and vitality. Green candles represent fertility, growth, abundance, and the lushness of nature. Yellow or gold represents the sun, happiness, and creative energy. Another wonderful tradition celebrated on May Day is dancing around the maypole. The vibrant colors and dance of the maypole evoke the celebrations of ancient Rome in the name of Flora. The maypole is a phallic symbol of fertility and strength. A 15 to 20-foot pole was erected, pun intended, in the commons area of the village. Before it was placed on the ground, long ribbons were fastened to the top. During the maypole dance to bright, happy music, each person takes the end of a ribbon. Participants weave around each other, wrapping the ribbon around the pole in a brightly colored sheath. As we dance around the pole, we can call on the goddess of spring to share in our dance. Dance was and is important in pagan celebrations, so much so that ancient depictions of the goddess frequently show her dancing in nature. In America, Thomas Morton erected an 80-foot tall maypole in the settlement of Marymount, Massachusetts in 1626. The festival that year was fun and exciting, drawing settlers and natives from around the colonies. This, of course, infuriated the stuffy Puritans who called in Miles Standish. Standish arrested Morton. Morton was then exiled to Maine, where I'm hopeful that he built more maypoles, but we don't know for sure. Like many of our traditional holidays, Beltane began among early farmers and herdsmen. This was a time to drive the cattle and sheep to summer pastures. For farmers at this time, the chickens were laying eggs and calves and lambs were being born. Rituals were performed to protect livestock, growing crops, and encourage their success. In one ritual, cattle were led between two bonfires for protection from diseases. Beltane is represented by bright colors, beautiful flowers, and the goddess. Yellow, purple, and red will liven up your space. Add springtime flowers that are blooming in your area. Have a picture or statue of a goddess for female energy. Celebrate the womb and give birth with eggs. And giving birth with eggs. Your children may want to dye them like at Astara. And other female symbols are cups, rings, and young plants. Place offerings of springtime foods on your altar or in your yard. An outside altar is a great place to leave an offering for wildlife. Fresh fruit and veggies. No bread. Bread is bad for many animals. Honor female ancestors with a photograph or family story. Male energy can be represented with a symbol of potency, such as antlers, acorns, arrows, or swords. Belenus, a sun god and one of the most widely worshipped deities in the Celtic pantheon. Belenus was a solar god associated with light, healing, and the sun's warmth. He was revered as a healer and protector, often invoked to ensure the health and prosperity of communities and their livestock. Inscriptions to him have been found all over Gaul, Britain, northern Italy, and beyond. We often celebrate Brigid, the Celtic goddess of fire, fertility, poetry, healing, during Imbolc in February. However, for me, February is still a snowy, cold month, so I love to bring Brigid into Beltane. As I mentioned earlier, the Roman goddess Flora is one I like to honor at this time. Honor her by wearing colorful clothing, decorating with wild flowers, and planting seeds. Families may wish to weave a flower crown to wear during altar time. Prayers can express gratitude for the fertility of the earth. Are you welcoming a new baby into the home? Babies born on May 1st were traditionally named Robin. Pagan tradition has several goddesses that watched over childbirth, protecting the mother and baby. The Roman goddess Juno, Egyptian Tauret, and Norse Frigg are just a few. The young oak tree falls deeply in love with the maiden goddess. Their union is completed on the eve of Mayday, and she becomes pregnant. Together, as the May Queen and May King, they bring together the earth and the sky. Beltane is a time to think about famous lovers and honor the gods and goddesses of love, romance, and passion. There are many lovers to honor, and on the website article for Beltane, I have a list of several you may want to include in your celebration. Beltane is a great time for feasting. Cook with spring ingredients, early greens, eggs, dairy, fresh herbs. Share food with people you love. Feasting is part of the fun. Think rich, delicious spring delicacies. It was common to have something sweet during Beltane, like honey. I like to indulge in a bit of chocolate. May gads are wands decorated with bells, flowers, and ribbons. They were traditionally made from willow branches and thus very flexible. Gad was an ancient Persian god of good fortune. Cowslips, a spring flower, were often used to decorate Maygads. Traditionally in England and during the Middle Ages, boys would carry Maygads on Mayday morning to the maypole in their village. At the pole, they struck their wands together, causing the cowslips to fall off. This symbolized the start of summer. Do you have young children in your family or coven? A great way to celebrate is to have a procession where children can dress up and enjoy the show. Traditional Beltane parades were known for having a fool and a green man. Many people rode horses, but a stick horse will do. Wave your Maygad and shake your tambourine. Plants are an important symbol of Beltane. Often yellow and orange were used to represent the fire, so marigolds, dandelions, buttercups, and primrose are important spring flowers. I have a video on dandelion magic, which is powerful at this time of year. Depending on what gardening zone you live in, many plants are available to forage or grow. Fresh greens, such as dandelions, are popular for salads and have medicinal value. Asparagus, onions, sugar peas, and radishes are wonderful spring foods to add to your meal or altar. Fairies are highly active during Beltane, traveling between their homes and playing mischievous pranks or having protection roles. Remember to give back. Leave an offering for the Sidhe, fairies, or elves. Working with the Fae involves having a connection with nature. I hope this video was helpful to you. Please give me a thumbs up to help me reach others who want to grow as pagans. I hope you have a fabulous Beltane. Thanks for watching and have a very witchy day.